Michael Ayonoje was born to the family of Mr. and Mrs. Ayonoje way back in the late 1980s in Cross River State, Ogoja to be precise. I grew up from a humble background. As a son of a police officer, we're always moving from one state to the other. We lived in Cross River, we moved to Abakaliki, we stayed in Uyo at a point, Kwara, Muara, we even stayed in Warri. I think my fondest memory growing up was in Satellite Town, where we stayed at a point way after my father had retired from the police force. To God be the glory, I got admission into UniBen and I got into school at age 16. I studied political science and public administration in UniBen. Then going to UniBen, for example, is like, be careful of cultists and all those things. So going to UniBen changed my whole person. I was interested in politics and everything pertaining to it. I had amazing friends, Gregory, Owen, and Ofuzin. We explored UniBen, explored Benin and every other state. One of the highlights was the opportunity to meet the then governor and comrade Adam Soshomole. Meeting him in person, seeing how intelligent and smart he was, it was actually unique.
Big things, Nimo like.
Another highlight for me then was I and my friends, we created a concept for rebranding Nigeria, and one thing led to the other. We met Alibaba. I met Alibaba in a program in Benin, and when I told him about it, he was like, "Oh, come to Lagos." He gave me his card and we met. I spoke to him about the idea. He was like, Alibaba connected us to then Minister of Information, late Professor Dora Akunyili. Mama, I don't see people like Nigeria past you. And 2 weeks later, we were in Abuja. The plan was to create something that would replace Big Brother Africa back then. We were looking at a program that would be focused majorly on presenting Nigeria in a good light. It was an interesting experience doing something in a national scale, and we're all excited but inexperienced. So we didn't know how Nigeria worked at that period. Unfortunately, the program did not see the light of the day, but fortunately, it gave me enough experience and increased my patriotism for this place called Nigeria. Something I can't forget in a hurry, and I know that sooner than later, we'll wake that giant up again. Yeah, this is where the journey gets more interesting, After school, you have to serve your fatherland, and it was my turn to do that. And I went to check for my posting letter, and somewhere I'm like, was there a mistake here? It's supposed to be OS, like Osun State. Immediately I checked Google Map and I saw Sokoto. And I'm like, what? And I did not redeploy. That was how I stayed in Shagari local government in Sokoto for 1 year. After service, I went back to my village, Otwo, and I organized a talent hunt because then Momsi had just opened an eatery, and I said in order to increase our patronage, contribute to the community, I began a talent hunt show called Pride of Otwo, where we had comedians, dancers, musicians, pageantry and even cooking. It was quite amazing. Brought the community together. My parents were proud of me. I was proud of myself. We were able to give them prizes, cash prizes. We were able to give them TV, bag of rice, cooker, gas cooker, and a few other things. And it was amazing. And it lasted for like 3 years or so. And after that, the first year I came back to Lagos. And luckily enough, due to my relationships I got in university, I was able to work with Bumi Davis at Afrotainment Productions, the producers of Stand Up Nigeria, the hottest comedy show at that point. I worked there as the brand manager, and I learned quite a number of things, after which I left to come back to Agbara community to start off a new journey in itself. While I was with Bumi Davis, I was attending Daystar. I registered for their leadership academy led by Pastor Sam Adeyemi. And After attending the leadership class, I knew that I had so much to give beyond just surviving. So I came back to Agbara and began my own leadership academy called Life Transformers Academy. And I was now a motivational speaker. And that was beautiful. But the only problem was I was motivating people on an empty stomach. Someone they beat me and I was motivating people. I was inspiring lives, but my account was not being inspired. I had to think of other things to do. I learned graphics designing. I started up Trumpet PR, where I was sending bulk SMS for entrepreneurs around. I did that for a while. So basically between the year 2013 and 2017, I was just trying my hands on different things to stay afloat. I even went to a point where I was cooking and selling noodles in banks around Agbara. Yes, I did that. And then sometime in 2017, someone spoke to me and told me that I needed to do something more realistic to get on track with my life. And that was when I decided to go into logistics. And I began sending me errands. It wasn't an easy journey because I didn't know how to ride a bike. So I had to learn how to ride a bike myself. So I would get a bike, tell the bike man to stop at my gate, and I would drive to my house. Sometimes I would fall, but I would rise again. But to God be the glory, since 2017, the business began to peak. And then with the coronavirus issue, people began to take advantage of logistics firm. And since then, it has been a beautiful ride. Okay, basically after riding, escaping several kinds of accidents, getting bruises. The story is long. I knew I had to do something more long-term. So of course the business grew, we got riders. At that point when there was a bit of stability, I began to enhance my career as an MC. From 2021, I began to put more effort in the business of being an event host and a corporate MC. And since then, I host a couple of corporate and private events, statewide and outside the state. And that is what has given birth to OneMic as a brand. Well, so far God has been faithful because with the mic now, I've been able to appear on a few TV stations. I've gradually become a youth advocate. I've been blessed to appear on MITV, Wave TV, Silverbed on several occasions to share thoughts on youth development and how we can make youths better and maximize the potentials that God has given us generally. Yes, so that has been what's been in play. Yeah, the future is very bright. It's very bright because with the Send Me Errands business flourishing, OneMic brand establishing itself by the day. Recently, I also began Agbara Connect, a media business platform. The hope is that in a few years from now, we would have a central media hub in Agbara community where businesses can flourish, thrive, where information can be passed to every resident and member of the community. Also, I hope to engage in more youth developmental projects, both in the community and outside the community, outside the country at large, because the end point is to become the hope of the African youth. Yes, that is what Michael Ironoje hopes to stand for. Chronicles of OneMic is an event better to harness the talents in the community and contribute my quota to the development of the community and ensure that those of us in this border town between Lagos and Ogun State have a place where we can have clean, amazing fun with our families and friends. So I feel honored and privileged to have you, yes, you, with your smiling faces, beautifully dressed, seated here, taking our time to be a part of this amazing event. I say thank you, thank you, thank you.